Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for tax day, April 18th, 2023. Won't be saying that for another year. I know I had to write my check, not happy. It is about 6 p.m. Central Time. And I'll tell you, it's a churning type market. Nothing seems to really break the stock market. It doesn't matter the news you throw at it, what it is. The naysayers, as I like to call them, are there buying the brakes, trying to drive the market back up. We saw some interesting action after the close. Netflix came out, and on their earnings, the market initially dropped over 10%, came roaring back within a half an hour, and was actually about a point and a half higher. I don't know where it's at right now, but that's pretty violent action in the market. On the energy markets, we've broken down in the gasoline back to the 18-day average of closes, where I thought support would be found once it lost its embedded slow stochastic reading. In the bonds and notes, we keep adding yield each day. They're also taking the 2-10-year yield spread a bit higher. The dollar gave back a big chunk of what it made yesterday, and on that, we saw rallies happen in the gold, the silver market as well. So let's go to the metals and get a feel for what they're doing. Now for the Wednesday trade, because that's what we're in right now, you're up 0.17%, pretty much flat for the week, up $3.50. You can see the action here, and again, we have one of these distribution patterns. It's a pattern when you make a spike to the high, which we did almost 5 days ago, and then boom, you come crashing down right through those lows, and you're in the middle of nowhere. And that shows up on the swing line because what a swing line does is it looks at the prior day and it decides is it going to draw the line to the current day from the high or low of that day. And in the process, you create patterns that might be lower lows, higher highs, or eventually higher lows, higher highs. You get to the point where if there's a trend, one will show up. The traditional uptrend is higher lows, higher highs. Downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, right? Pretty simple. You have no trend when you have this pattern, a lower low and a higher high. You're in the middle of no man's land. That's where this market's at. The market has come back to fight a battle at the 18-day average and closes. And as I told you, to get there, and I think I said this 3 or 4 days ago, you'd have to get through that low and it would break the uptrend. It's exactly what had occurred. Higher high, lower low. Where did the market stop? If you don't learn these Bollinger Bands, you're at a big disadvantage. It stopped at those bands, went back to the 18-day average, and right now it's in search mode. What is the next trend? If the market from here can get through the last break low that we made a couple of days ago at 1993.30, if it gets to that number, you'd have lower highs, lower lows, calling for a challenge right here. 1969.5. Under the current pattern, I don't see how it gets back into an uptrend. Momentum-wise, we're correcting an overbought condition. Anytime the numbers get up and over the 70 level and not embedded, where both the red and the blue are going sideways over 80, without that, you're just overbought. And now you're back into neutral territory. And as I said, I think the market's looking for direction right now. It'd be easier to get a small downtrend going than an uptrend on the current pattern. In the gold-silver pattern, we had a bounce, you see that, where each time it goes higher, silver now loses a little bit to the gold. And when we come in on the May silver, you've lost the embedded reading. I think the market's on borrowed time. I think that before it goes up through that high, the odds are very strong. It's going to make a run for the 18-day average of closes. That doesn't mean it'll end up in a downtrend. You can go down there for the support at 24.63. That's a good amount of money away from here at 60 some odd cents. So we'll see if that happens. In the copper market, 2 days ago, you made your run back to the 18-day average. You haven't been able to put together any real trend. You've had the lower low, higher high pattern. You keep getting to the 18-day average. You try to pick up. You went to the Bollinger Band, back down. You're in the middle of no man's land in this chart. And I'm seeing that on chart upon chart upon chart. The markets that came alive were the platinum and the palladium market. Out of nowhere, you're developing the bullish embedded reading. You latched on back here to the Bollinger Band and didn't let go. Are you watching? He had one day that he didn't hit it. Every other day. That's that gorilla glue trade. And when it happens, you end up typically with an embedded reading, and it tells you the first hard break is where the pros are looking to come back in on the long side if they're not in already. That's a pretty hard market to buy and stay with. And the palladium is in the early stages of trying to embed. But I pointed out to you yesterday, when you get a big rally like this, especially over a Bollinger Band, and you have a key moving average above the market, it's like hitting a brick wall at 100 miles an hour. See what happened? You've just run out of that momentum. I expect the market to pull back into the Bollinger Band, regroup, if you will. We'll see what happens. Is the trend up? Oh, yeah, still up in this market, too. And in the dollar, unless the market gets up now and through Monday's high, I'm looking that the market's reestablished a downtrend. Can it build on it and make a run to the 177 level? To me, that'll be the big question. Now, I talk about this all the time, and I want you to join me in the mornings. In the mornings, I cover 40 charts. We build trades. I analyze them for the first time with you. We'll cover all these different markets, all the main futures markets. It helps you with your ETFs. We'll try to put out new videos every single morning when there's markets open. Sometimes you get a holiday, but they're not often. On the weekends, we'll be putting together the weekend videos. We're looking at primarily weekly charts for the longer term. And how do you get all this? Well, there's a couple ways. First, if you're watching me on YouTube, if you look at the bottom, you're going to see the word join. Give it a click. That's the way you can come in. If you're on our website, you can join me in the research area. How do you do all this? Well, go to our website. If you're not already a member with me, you can click up here, or you can go to the website under the word research, and it'll take you right to the area that you have to go. I think you'll find it fascinating. I record the morning futures starting typically between 5:15, 5:30 a.m. It goes very fast. It's in your hands, and you get to start saying, here's the morning, what the news is. Here's what's out of Asia, out of Europe. Look what's going on. Here's the events that happen overnight. Where are we? Give it a try. I'm Ira Epstein. Hope to see you there. Take care.